So I've been learning music production for quite a while. Almost 7 years now. Fuck. I can pretty confidently say that I know my way around my DAW. Though I can't quite classify myself as a pro yet. I still have some more improving to do. And recently I found that it's been getting more and more difficult for me to actually improve. And I mean, it's normal. The effect of diminishing returns is very much applicable in this case. It's like going to the gym. For the first few months, or even years, making significant progress is going to come pretty easily to you. Though after some time you will inevitably hit a plateau, and you'll have to be more intentional about your training. And the same thing applies to music production. So if you've been feeling like you don't learn anything from YouTube tutorials anymore, and you roll your eyes when they mention childishly obvious terms like subtractive synthesis or polymeters, then you're in the right place today. Though, to be honest, beginners can probably benefit from this as well. It just might be a bit more difficult for them. So I'm going to share with you some of the ways I've been learning recently and what works best for me. And since I just mentioned YouTube tutorials, let's talk about them first. No, they're not completely useless. And no, I'm not just saying that because I have a YouTube channel. Absolutely not. Though not all tutorials are created equal. Mine are better than everyone else's. Please subscribe. In my opinion, way too many tutorials out there look like this. Okay guys, here's how to make techno. Here, first you have the kick, then you have the drum, then you have the synths. Boom! Congratulations! Now you know how to make techno. Smash that like button, guys! Fuck man, I'm sorry about that skit. And I don't know about you, but I personally find that watching the full creative process, start to finish, is 1,000 times more useful than just seeing the finished product. Though I can understand why not many people do it. Improvising on the spot is tough. When seeing the full process, I can follow the artistic mindset and workflow and understand why something is made the way it is. You also get to discover many different techniques and nuances which you can add to your arsenal of possibilities. By far the most amount of times I've said to myself,
aha, that's how you do it,
came from watching people produce from scratch. And actually there's scientific evidence supporting this. This pyramid represents the average amount of information retained based on the type of learning. As you can see, observing a demonstration of the process results in a whopping 25% increase over just getting a lecture about the process. Though if you want to get to the next level with this, you're going to need to practice the process as well. Or just become a YouTuber like me. Actually, low-key, let me know if you'd like to see a guide on how to become one. So the way I like to structure my practice with these start-to-finish types of videos is to watch them on my second monitor with my DAW open in another window, and I just follow along and do what they do. But in my own way, though. I don't want to copy their process exactly. And whenever I get inspired, I like to pause the video so that I can explore the new techniques on my own. And whenever I run out of ideas, I can then unpause the video and keep watching. Now, this might be more difficult for beginners, since with these types of videos, many things are only briefly explained. And there's very often an assumption being made that you already know which buttons do what. But as long as you're able to catch up with what's happening, you should be good. There's tons of track from scratch masterclasses out there. Many of them you have to pay for, but you can find some pretty good ones on YouTube as well. And speaking of what I was just speaking of, I actually have something to announce for you. So I just launched my first masterclass. Here's a preview of what I made in there. I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I shared so many of my different techniques in there that now I'm getting kind of worried that I'm not gonna have any more secrets to show you. The masterclass is almost 2 hours long, it's in-depth, and I explain my thought process behind everything I do in there. And you can get the masterclass if you sign up to my Patreon. Which, yeah, by the way, I launched a Patreon, kinda forgot to tell you that. And I'm going to be updating the page with new content regularly, So definitely go check it out. It's in the video description. It's gonna be the first link. And the membership comes with other benefits, which I'm not gonna talk about right now. For now, let's just get back into the video. Now, this next way of practice is a bit more difficult, so buckle up. So, do you ever listen to a track and wonder how it was made? Maybe you're so impressed with the composition that you just wish you would have made it yourself. Well, let me tell you something. You've probably heard about using reference tracks. It's great to do it and all that, but making remakes is like using reference tracks, but on steroids. You will greatly benefit from doing a remake of that track. So pick a song, analyze every single aspect of it, and try to get as close as you possibly can to the sound of the original. You don't have to make the perfect replication, but usually the closer you can get, the better. Every single time when I do a remake, without fail, I always learn something new that actually blows my mind. Now, you're obviously not gonna be able to remake every single track out there, and the types of tracks that you're going to be able to remake are going to heavily depend on your current skill level. So you might be able to do more in this department if you're a bit more advanced. You're going to have to use your best judgment when picking out tracks to remake, and maybe start with the simpler ones. Yeah, it's difficult. It sure would be great if someone could remake the tracks for me, give me the project file, and synthesize all of the learning lessons in an easily digestible way. But I guess that's just too good to be true. Oh, wait, I came up with something like that. Hey, it's me again. I'm just gonna take this from here. So, I know remaking tracks is difficult, and I understand not everyone can make time for that kind of practice. So, as my attempt to make this ocean of knowledge, because it truly is an ocean of knowledge, more accessible for everyone, I'm sharing my track remakes on Patreon. These are the other benefits that I was talking about earlier. So, once you sign up, you get project files of the remakes that you can open and look into, my additional notes where I summarize everything and you can download or even print them out so you can better memorize everything. And the best part is that I literally summarize all of the lessons learned from remaking the track for you. So basically, you get all of the knowledge without having to do any of the work. And yes, I remember that learning pyramid. This might not be as good as remaking the tracks yourself. You're obviously gonna learn more from that. But I truly believe that what I'm offering here is the next best thing. And I mean, you do the math in terms of what the difference is, in terms of the time investment required for each of these options. And you still get to do a large part of the practice if you download my project files. You can easily go through them and analyze everything for yourself. I'm regularly updating the page with new content, so if you're willing to invest in yourself and support me as a side effect, check out the link in the video description. So yeah, back to the video. Okay. Now, so far, with watching masterclasses and doing remakes, we've been collecting all kinds of different techniques and acquiring a certain type of intuition for ourselves. But there's one more thing that we need to do to truly put these new skills into practice. If you want to develop your own unique style as an artist, you're going to have to pick and choose from the techniques that you've learned so far and start applying the ones that resonate with you the most. It's not until you actually finish some music that you start applying all of these new bits of knowledge. And you don't really get to practice the entire music production skill set if you don't actually finish your tracks. I know, it's a very unsexy answer, isn't it? You've probably already heard everyone else say that you need to finish more music, but for a good reason. You will learn and improve something with every single track you finish, whether you want to or not. It's just a case of finishing the track. I actually have an approach to finishing music that I don't really hear anyone else talk about, but that's a whole other topic. It's a bit too intricate for me to be able to cover all of it right now, which actually, that is exactly the reason why I made this video. Go watch it right now if you want to learn more. I'll see you there. Cheers.